You ever feel it? That quiet voice, the one that shows up right after the attraction fades, the one that whispers, "She's not ready for you." It's not hate, it's not ego. It's your higher self trying to protect what you built. You've done too much work to play with energy like this. You've healed, you've awakened, you've died and been reborn. But you still keep trying to love women who haven't even looked in the mirror yet. You still keep giving light to someone who doesn't even know she's in the dark. And you wonder why you feel drained. You wonder why your spirit starts glitching. It's because she can't go. And deep down, you already know that. Let's be real. You didn't just wake up one day. You lost parts of yourself that you thought were permanent. You sat in silence while your ego screamed. You let go of people you used to love, habits that used to numb you, illusions that used to blind you. And you did it alone. While everybody else was partying, you were somewhere talking to God with tears in your eyes, trying to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. This wasn't a trend for you. This wasn't some YouTube phase or journal prompt. This was blood, pain, stillness, and revelation. And now, you're different. Your energy is heavier. Your vision is clearer. Your presence is sacred. You're not just a man anymore. You're a vessel. And not everybody is qualified to hold you. So when you try to love someone who hasn't died yet, someone who hasn't faced their demons, someone who hasn't sat in the fire long enough to see what's real, you're not just dating out of alignment, you're betraying everything you survived to become. There's a certain kind of weight you carry now. It's invisible, but it's real. That weight of discipline, that weight of truth, that weight of walking with God in silence when nobody else understood. You don't even realize how heavy your presence is anymore. But she does. Because when a man walks in his calling, when he's been broken, rebuilt, and filled with divine fire, his energy doesn't just enter a room, it shifts the room. And if a woman hasn't done her own inner work, if she's still running from her past, her patterns, her pain, your light will not heal her. It'll overwhelm her. She'll admire it at first, but eventually, it'll start making her uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because you're real, and real exposes everything she's been trying to hide. This is how good women become chaotic. This is how lovers turn into tension. Not because you changed, but because your presence reminded her of everything she hasn't faced yet. And now she doesn't know whether to love you or run from you. Let's cut the softness out for a second. Some of these women ain't just unhealed, they're dangerous, not because they mean to be, but because they're still at war with themselves. And if you get too close while they're still bleeding, they'll stain everything you built and then blame you for the mess. You ever tried to love a woman who ain't done her inner work? She's defensive. She thinks your calm means weakness. She turns every peaceful moment into a test. You're trying to elevate. She's trying to argue. You're building silence and presence. She's addicted to drama and attention. And you sit there wondering, how did I end up in this chaos again? The answer: you ignored the signs. See, you thought being a healed man made you strong enough to carry her too. You thought your light would calm her storm, but what you didn't realize was this: unhealed women don't follow, they fight. They fight peace. They fight leadership. They fight truth. Because anything that reminds them of their own unhealed trauma becomes a threat. So instead of growing with you, she competes, she resists. She starts looking for ways to knock you down a few pegs, just to feel in control. And when the disrespect starts, it ain't just her mouth. It's the side eyes, the passive aggression, the subtle belittling of your mission. And then it turns into full-blown sabotage. But you let it slide, didn't you? Because she's fine, because she had a rough past, because you thought you could be the man that saved her. Let me tell you something, King. You're not her savior. You're her mirror. And mirrors don't heal, they reflect. So when she looks at you and sees everything she hasn't become, she'll either rise up or try to break you. And most times, she'll try to break you. Not out of pure evil, but because her pain still runs the show, and your presence threatens her control. That's why I'm telling you, if she hasn't healed, if she hasn't faced her demons, if she hasn't surrendered her ego and aligned with spirit, she ain't your woman. She's your test. And if you fail it, you'll be in the same cycle 1, 2, 5 years from now. Tired, drained, confused, disconnected from your purpose. Not because God left you, but because you chose someone who couldn't walk with him. Brother, you didn't go through hell just to hand your soul to someone who hasn't even entered the fire. You didn't spend years healing, learning, breaking generational cycles, just to fold for a pretty face and a soft voice that ain't aligned with your path. You are rare now. You carry light, presence, clarity, and with that comes responsibility. Because the moment you allow someone close to you, someone still wounded, still reactive, still playing spiritual games, you give her access to everything you bled for. She doesn't have to swing at your empire to tear it down. All she has to do is drain you quietly. One distraction at a time, one emotional spiral, one argument that throws off your whole focus for the week, and you'll look up, months gone, energy gone, vision clouded. You can't build legacy in survival mode, and you can't walk with God while holding hands with someone who refuses to even look in his direction. This ain't about ego, this is about preservation, purpose, peace. So if you feel it, if your spirit's been whispering, she ain't ready, listen, because that whisper, that's God pulling you back from spiritual destruction. And if you're not sure what to look for, if you keep attracting the same cycles and don't know why, drop a comment below if you want a full video on how to spot the red flags early, the ones most men ignore until it's too late. Because protecting your past starts with recognizing what don't belong in your spirit. From this point forward, she can't go, not unless she's done the work, not unless she's walking in truth, not unless her energy says, I'm here to build, not break. You've been chosen. Move like it.